This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. First, I'd like to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there that put into this truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you brothers that are tuning in, Shalom. And as you can see from this headline here, tensions between Black and Latino residents in LA spike in wake of Nuri Montez scandal. So we're going to be going into this along with 3 other articles here that's going to be really short. That's going to be embedded into this lesson. And basically we're going to go into the scriptures, and see and tie it all together and see how the snare that Esau perpetuate on the children of Israel, so-called Blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, here in Great Babylon, America. And that's the reason why you see us clashing against each other. So let's go back into Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, and thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Okay, now let's take a look at this word undermine. This is important here. And it means
undermine.
And it's lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability, or especially gradually or insidiously. It means to subvert, sabotage, threaten, weaken, and compromise or diminish any type of effort to do what? Gain this thing, that the snare that Esau puts out there the most towards us, which is what? Equality. And this is why you see this story, is going to be highly based on that, because there's this racist remark that was made by this council member, and it's created this uproar. Let's read this snippets here, and it says, leaked audio involving Martinez, a Hispanic who heard crude and racist comment against blacks and Americans of Oaxacan descent during a private meeting held in October 2021. In case you don't know what an Oaxacan looks like, this is a picture of what an Oaxacan looks like right here. See this lady right here? So this is an Oaxacan right here. I'll also show you another picture here of an Oaxacan. So this is what they look like. So they tend to be a little bit more of your darker, colored so-called Mexicans, a little bit more of the ones that in the oppressive state over in Mexico. And we're going to go a little bit later on to show you who the ruling class of Mexico really is. So these 3 here are the culprit here at the center of this so-called scandal, or this racism, remark that was heard. And there's a great demand for this council member to resign. So as you know, equality is the big thing that Esau uses. We saw the BLM march, we saw the segregation march, to lift up segregation in the 60s with Martin Luther King, which you call the civil rights movement. And we know what he won from that, which is all these abominable rights that Esau have perpetuated here in Great Babylon, America. Let's go into the book of Ecclesiasticus 13 and 11. It says, affect not to be made equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words. For with much communication will he tempt thee, and smile upon thee will get out thy secrets. Now, what are these secrets? What are the secrets of the so-called black man, Native American, and Latino? It's to be equal to the so-called white man, who is actually the base of man, all man, He is the base of the 18 tribes that were created by the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. But yet still, this is one of the secrets that he gets out. And this has been the best, snare that Esau has been using, since the 60s. So nearly 70 years later, there's still this snare about equality, and racism, So let's take a look here and see how Esau is doing this. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah, because he is actually utilizing people, that call themselves very smart, to go and speak on behalf of the tribe of Israel, so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. So this is Christine Green here, a sociology. But she teaches sociology and African American history professor at Cal State University. Dominguez Hill said during Tuesday's meeting that the past week was a total disgrace and disheartening, adding that it was mind-boggling to see Cedillo and De Leon, those 3 characters that I show you, along with Martinez, maintain their seat on the council. So she said, we deserve more than an apology. Green said, we keep talking about the word healing, but we cannot heal without facing the truth. Truth. Let's go into the book of Jeremiah 50 and verse 33. And it says, thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Now, she's supposed to be what? a sociologist, okay? She's supposed to know African American history, okay? Which would be, you know, the African American is the so-called African Americans, okay, tribe of Judah, okay, is the head tribe, okay. So obviously, you know, we are the ones that are going to be stepped up first or thrust into the limelight, okay, for anything that's going to go on. So that's the reason why you see the topic is always going to be, okay, tension between blacks and Latinos, okay. So here it is. She's a professor, has a PhD in African American history. Yes, so she doesn't know, okay, the history, okay, of the tribe of Judah, okay, which is the so-called African Americans, okay. Now we're going to go into this because you could take a look here, okay, how we oppressed. We were oppressed with all of these things you see here, okay. We were oppressed together in slavery, okay. Even if the continent was different, okay, we were oppressed together under the inequality, okay, to anything, okay, that these other tribes that have come over here have been able to benefit, okay. We've also, when you take a look at this wall of shame here, we've all gone through all of this, okay. Homelessness, okay, joblessness, incarceration, who makes it all up, okay. The children of Israel, okay, and the children of Judah. That's the reason why it says, okay, we were oppressed together. Also too, okay, we are a divided kingdom, okay. Take a look at it, okay. When you look at this chart here, you see the 12th tribe of Israel, okay, northern and southern kingdom, and you can see here in this ancient map here, you can see, okay, this is the kingdom of Judah, and then you have the kingdom of Israel, okay. And at one point in time, we were going to actually clash, okay. This is pursuant, if you go into the book of 1 Kings chapter 12, okay, in verse 21, when it says Rehoboam, who was the ruler at that time, okay, had assembled a man, okay, Judah and Benjamin, to go and fight against the Israel, okay. And the Lord put an end to that, stop and say no, okay. Verse 24, it says, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, ye shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. They hearken therefore to the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, and return to depart according to the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai. So there's always been contention between the northern and southern kingdom. So this woman here coming out, okay, in her lack of wisdom, actually should have known this, but of course she doesn't know this because why? This is a feely society, okay, that Esau, okay, has created this entitleism, okay, in Israel, okay, to be equal to the so-called white man, okay, to go after the things of this world, okay. Let's go into the book of Romans, okay. Let's talk a little bit about that. Romans 12:2, and it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God, okay. Now she's talking about healing. The healing that we would have, okay, would be what? Turning, okay, to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to Yahweh Mashiach, okay. That's the true healing right there. And this is why we were warned not to conform to this world, because what happens when you conform? Let's take a look at what the word conform means, okay.
Conform.
And it means what? Comply with rules, standards, or laws. It means be similar in form or type, agree, okay, match, to fit, to suit, okay, to observe, to follow, to keep, okay. So we are not to conform with these things that Esau wants, which is what? All these abominable acts like sodomy, okay, the LGBTQ, okay, the eating of pork and all of the abominable meats that we are told not to eat. Also the other lifestyle that these other nations commit. And our people are actually involved in it, okay, which is adultery, okay. We are told not to do those things, okay. So we are not to conform with what is glorified and glamorized, okay, here in Great Babylon, America. Because what does that lead to? Okay, it leads to a whole lot of different things, okay, that what you see going on right here right now. Here's what she says. This is Kanza Jones Muhammad, a black commissioner on LA's reparation task force. Now we know reparation is what? Or to try to get paid back. Okay, so this is where Esau, this is another snare with Esau right here. It's like, I'm going to do you wrong. You're going to fight for equality, okay, because you don't know that we're beneath you, okay, and we're going to give you paper money, okay, FRN notes that has our face on it, okay, which you are going to worship and spend back on our business anyways. thus the cycle of stupidity never cease to end here, okay, with the tribe of Israel. It says, called in Tuesday in her capacity as a regular citizen to crying out the institutional racism that still exists. Racism from the city's leadership in no way be tolerated by black Angelinos, okay? I mean, they come up with all kinds of names here. So, of course, you see the terrified looking face of this guy right here, you know, as he's screaming, and they're all in a meeting, and they're going back and forth like that. Okay, little do these people know, okay, the so-called Latinos, okay, which, you know, everybody's going to look at them as so-called Mexicans, okay? All right? And the so-called African Americans or blacks, or what they call blacks, okay, are in here, doesn't know their history, ignorant to the fact that the so-called white man is playing them and laughing his ass off, and it's the same snare that he's been using, okay? They're in here screaming and shouting at each other, going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And this is a really, really interesting one here, okay? Because they're looking at it, okay? And here's the culprit right here. So this lady right here, okay? She's the one that actually, came out and said that. Now, if you take a look at her, all right. Now, let's go and see who the rulers are of Mexico. You look at it, and these are the rulers right here, okay, at the bottom right here, okay. These are Caucasians, man. Okay, these are Spaniards, okay. These are crackers that are ruling over there. Now, this lady could easily, you know, she could easily be a tear, okay, easily be a tear, okay, pursuant to Matthew's 13, okay, and verse 24, okay, and it says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while a man slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Okay, she could easily be a tare. Okay, so she has the look. Okay, when you take a look at this, okay, now you take a look at, this is George Lopez here. Okay, George Lopez is a typical dark Issachar or dark Mexican. Okay, and you take a look at this picture here next to him. Okay, this is what a so-called light, or what they call white Hispanic, would look like, and then they darken the skin to show what or what is called non-white Hispanic would look like. Okay, these are day workers, which typically are going to be your dark-looking so-called Mexicans. Okay, now not everybody that speaks Spanish or come through that border are so-called Mexicans. Okay, they are from the Northern Kingdom, and when you look at that map, okay. And we can go back to this 12 tribe poster here. Take a look at it, okay? When you look at it, okay? Let's bring it up here, the divided kingdom. And you take a look at it, all right? What do you see? Argentines, okay? Colombians, the Paraguayans, okay? You got the Seminole Indians, okay? So you've got, okay, those who are going to most likely be of the indigenous part of those nations that are going to be be part of the tribe of Israel, okay? And this is why these people are at the bottom of the society right here. And this is why this woman, okay, she made that comment against the Oaxacan tribe, okay? And also the so-called black boy that she talked about, and she made here was a statement right there. It says, Cedillo de Leon, along with labor union leader Juan Herrera, who has also since resigned, were in the room in 2021 when Martinez referred to the white council member Mike Ronan's 7-year-old son, I guess he's adopted, who is black, as I can't pronounce that in Spanish, but it means that little monkey, okay? So she referred to him as a little monkey, and then she said that she would like to get a little boy a beat down because he's being raised, okay, as a little white boy, okay, and so she somehow didn't like that, you know. So you can see here that this tier that Esau has set up here, that looks and speaks like a so-called Issacharite, okay, it's probably most likely not an Issacharite. Let's go into the book of Second Ezra, because this equality and this contention that's being built here, because this is when you try to conform, okay, in Esau's kingdom, okay, here's what happens. You have dissension, you have contention, hatred, lust, and enmity. Let's take a look at that word enmity here, because this is going to be a word that you need to remember here, all right?
Enmity.
And it says the state of feeling or being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something, hostility, animosity, antagonism, friction. Okay, these are all the things that the so-called white man created amongst, okay, the tribe of Israel. But let's go, you know something? Let's go into the book of Genesis, okay, because Genesis talks about this. This is the book of Genesis 3:15 says, okay, and this is after the snake, okay, the so-called white man had beguiled Eve, okay, in the garden. And it says, And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Okay, so we were never meant, okay, to conform with Esau and his society. We were never meant to be together and go kumbaya. Okay, now there's Esau and those, they have this contention and this indifferences that's going between, okay, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, which the Most High himself have actually done that. Okay, I'll bring it on, okay, in the book of Ezekiel, okay, where the Lord is going to eventually, okay, crush that, okay, and those who are part of the elect, okay, is going to merge, okay, and bring back the children of Israel. But before that happens, we have to go and see, okay, what Esau snares is going to bring, not only on us, okay, who are not on our tribe, members who are not part of the truth, but also on this entire nation. Okay, this is the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, because this is what happens, okay, when you have something like this that's going on like that, and Esau is sitting back, okay, and letting this go on, because Jake's them are going to participate in this. And it says, for there should be sedition amongst men, invading one another. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, verse 16. It says, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go in the city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city should be troubled, and the houses should be destroyed, and man should be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Now, this brings me to these other articles, okay? Because you got to understand here, and MSN does not put up anything other than controversial stuff like this, because, see, they hide the truth behind stuff like this because they know what? It's going to bring these kind of comments right here. And let's take a look at some of the comments here. Okay, you take a look at that. See, there is always, this is Scott Heat. There's always one particular group that continually shows up in headline that is in conflict with all the other groups. Make a person think it is not us, it's them. So we know that he's talking about the so-called black people. Okay, this is how it works. Let's go and take a look at another headline. What does it say? African Americans stop being so easily, in capital letter, offended. Now, it doesn't have an author. It says opinion by staff. What staff is writing this? Okay, and it goes on, and this is the funny part here. Take a look at it. It says, it talks about all of the things that's going on here. Okay, and as you take a look at it, okay, and this person asks as if they have been all over the world, okay, which they haven't. And it says, however, what about the black people who were not slaves nor victims of police brutality, nor direct victims of racism or oppression? Well, wait a minute. Didn't we go into the book of Jeremiah, okay, 50 and 33, and it says, thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemi Ashai, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. We are still in captivity. Take a look at who's running so-called Mexico, okay? Who's running so-called Mexico, okay? So-called white man, okay? So-called white man, okay? Crackers are their leaders, okay? Let's be realistic here, okay? So we've gone, so I don't know who wrote this article, okay? This is an absolute total knucklehead, okay? But you can take a look at 810 comments, okay? And you can see here, okay? Because see, you get Latinos, they're going to be reading, so-called Latinos going to read this, and so-called blacks are going to be reading this, okay? And as you can take a look at these emojis here, what does it say here, okay? It shows that 534 people, okay, love this, okay? 534 people love this, okay? Because they love the stupidity and ignorance of this stuff right here. Because again, all eyes are on the tribe of Judah, okay? That's the tribe that everybody on. Let's take a look at this. It says former Microsoft CEO and billionaire Steve Ballmer reveals he will invest $400 million in private fund ventures to support black entrepreneurs. So there's always this way of what? You're not equal to us, so we're going to always try to baby you and try to give you. So this creates that image of they're trying to give to who? They're trying to give to Judah, okay? This is the reason why it continues to create that enmity, that doggone hatred towards us so-called blacks here in Great Babylon, America. So you look at these comments, and typical comments where they look at it like as it's like some type of handout, and they make sure they put this out, especially MSN. Of course, this is owned by, you know, Bill Gates, them, okay, to make it look as if they're trying to help. But this man is not helping, okay? He's never there to help, okay? Because when you take a look at everything, when we go back to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17, it says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Okay, this is a way of undermining, that we just simply have no brains or no capability, okay, of being successful in this nation. Because why? Our people don't know that we are under the damn curse. and our curse comes from the Lord Yahweh Shemi Shai. And Esau is being exalted because of who? The Lord Yahweh Shemi Shai. Okay, Jacob and Esau are brothers. Okay, Esau now has rulership. Jacob is the kingdom to follow afterward. Okay, the beginning. Okay, take a look at another one. Mexico's new racial reckoning. See, now this is what so-called Latinos, right? Notice a comment is activated. It says Mexico's new racial reckoning in movement, protest, colorism, and white privilege. Okay, so we know that there's and it goes about this restaurant that keeps the best tables for the light-skinned so-called Mexicans, and then turn away the dark-skinned Mexicans that goes inside there. Yet, so you have a lot of this contention, okay, between the dark-skinned Mexicans who are here in America and Black Great Babylon on this foolishness, okay, and the so-called Negroes. Now we went into 2nd Ezra 15, somewhere 16, and read about the sedition that's going to be going on. Now those seditions are going to be real serious, okay? That's serious business that's going to be going on, and those seditions is caused by Esau because why? There's a level playing field, and this is before the level playing field is implemented. We know that level playing field is going to be what? Okay, the implementation of the MOTB, okay, the mark of the beast, which is what? That chip. Okay, so over here you have the proud. Okay, those are there that are laughing and scoffing right now, who are looking at us fighting each other. Okay, scrambling for crumbs. Okay, and then you have us who are the children of Israel. Okay, living in squalor and poverty, and amongst that you have the elect of Israel that is going out in the highway and the byway and bringing out this prophecy. Okay, to the world. Okay, and also to everybody, letting them know. Okay, the great destruction that's going to come in Great Babylon, America. We also let you know who you are. Okay, that you are not. Okay, the lowest of the tribe, that you are actually, in fact, okay, many gods, okay, here in this flesh, okay, serving under our future servants, which is Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, let's go into the book, okay, of Matthew, because it talks about it talks about what's going to take place during this time. So you have the great tribulation because there's a shortage of food. Obviously, people aren't listening to their government. They realize that there's a lot of tyranny that's going on, okay. And so, of course, they were going to allow this place to be torn down. And so everybody's going to be going into that, because I show you those articles where they're trying to make it look as if so-called blacks in this nation, okay, are only getting freebie, okay, and so-called Latinos are getting freebie, okay. And so they are squaffing, crapping, and squashing at each other because, the so-called blacks and the Latinos are trying to fight for the little power that little Esau give them inside, some city council and stuff like that. So they're like crab in a basket. They're killing each other and they're clashing. But there are those that are actually seeing through the BS. Okay, this is the book of Matthew 24, and starting with verse 9, it says, "Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you should be hated of all nations for my name's sake." Who's that? That's Israel, the tribe of Israel. Okay. "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." Hey, we going out there and we're talking against this man. I say people are going to be becoming very offended. Okay, every single time I talk to a northern kingdom, guess what? They walk away as soon as I show them that poster. Okay, this poster here. Okay, when I show them this poster. Okay, look at that. When I show them these. Okay, the afflictions and all of the many abominable, wicked things that the so-called white man has done to us, okay, they get offended. They don't want to see that, and they walk away. And likewise, man, with Jacob, with the so-called blacks, when they walk up to the camp, exactly, because they don't want to hear the truth. Okay, they want to continuously be in darkness. And it says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many." Let's take a look at it. See, this is deception right here. This right here. Former CEO and billionaire wants to invest $400 million in what? What are you investing $400 million in? Fund ventures to support black entrepreneurs. Who the hell are these people? Why? This is false prophecy right here, because this place is going to be destroyed. So what are you investing into? There's not going to be any America. All right. You get IUIC, ISUPK, One Body, okay, Warriors for Israel. They're all complying, okay. They all complicit, okay. They're trying to undermine the ministry, and they're all They're all conform to Esau's way of life, okay, because they're unbelievers. These are false prophets. It says, "And shall And then shall many be offended and betray one another and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Okay, but all the propaganda Esau is doing it along with a lot of Jakes. And because iniquity shall abound and the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. There's going to be an end to all of this foolishness. Okay, the division that is right now you see taking place between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, scrambling for crumbs that this doggone cracker, this so-called white man is dropping. Okay, and they're having a great grand old time. Okay, setting up their tiers in these positions to do just this. Why did that leak out? Why is that so important? Why is it 2021? Why is it just coming out surfacing in 2022? Who gives a crap? You trying to tell me somebody could not delete that? Or get rid of that doggone tape? And even if you got it, why would you bring it out there? It's to create tension, okay? Which is going to lead to 2nd Esdras 15 and 16 when all 18 nation years going to be clashing. You're going to get the so-called white people. They're going to think that, the black people are freeloaders and the Latinos are freeloaders and those crossing the borders are freeloaders. So they want to kill you, okay? You're going to get blacks who want to go against the Latinos because they think they've been oppressed. You get the Latinos who want to go against black because they think they're being oppressed, okay? And the blacks is going to get special treatment or whatever the case is like that. You get the Native Indian who's going to get thrown inside there, and then all these other tribes, okay, these doggone gooks and fucking doggone shit-eating monkeys and from Africa, these Hamites, okay, they're going to get in the mix of it too, even though they're going to probably try hide in their house, but they're going to get dragged out and get in the mix of it too, whether they want to or not. Okay, and this is what's created, and this is all being bought by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because this is how he's going to put this end down. So let's go into the good news here. This is the good news here because, see, we can look at headlines of this, and we look at it, okay, from the perspective of spiritual perspective, okay, because we understand and we see the snares and how this man operates. We're not fooled by this man, okay, and this is the reason why the prophets has been set up in the last days here are the greatest threat to this doggone wicked man. Esau, the so-called white man. That's why we go on the highway and the byway, we look in the camera, and we talk to this man and tell him, you're going to die, and you are going to be our slave. Okay? We don't see you as a king. You are an obese man, lower than these other nations. And we are going to strap you down, okay, and beat your ass for 1,000 years and slave you beyond your imagination or even our imagination right now. And then we're going to put you to death. And that's your doggone future. Plain and simple. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 19 says, say unto them, thus said the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. So guess what? Right now, the northern and southern kingdoms are divided. You have Judah, which is the head of the southern kingdom, and you have Ephraim, which is the head of the northern kingdom, are now going to be put together. Okay, so when all of this BS is going on here in 2nd Esdras 15, verse 16, which talks about all the seditions and everybody just tearing each other apart, okay, you're also going to have what? What else is going to be going on here? You're going to have a level playing field, because why? They're going to implement this mark of the beast right here. Okay, cash is gone. Doesn't matter what you are in society like that. And this is going to really bring out the true collapse here of America. Okay, Great Babylon America here, because a lot of people are just going to be against this. Okay, this is going to be where everybody is just what? A slave now to the wicked. Okay, including these doggone low-level Edomites. So they're making these doggone comments, okay, on these articles that they put out there to try to create all this hostility. And this is good. We love this, okay? We love this. This is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Ashai, on the minds of these doggone wicked people, okay? So here it is right here. So it goes on and it says, okay, and the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hands before thy eyes. And say unto them, thus said the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathens, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them in their own land. So we're scattered all over the earth. Okay, we look like certain people there. You can't tell if that person that looks like a Chinese or a Japanese is not a Hebrew Israelite. We got to go by their continents. Okay, so we know we have Hebrew Israelites walking around in Japan speaking Japanese, have no clue that they're Hebrew Israelite. None. So the Lord is going to gather them. To their surprise, they're gonna be like, what? Konnichiwa. They could be like, Domo arigato, okay? All right, because they're happy like hell. I want to get the hell out of this doggone crap hole, because craziness is going to be going on. It's just going to be taking place all across the earth, okay? They want to get the hell out of there. And it says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, and neither shall they be divided into kingdoms anymore at all. Okay, so we're not going to be northern and southern kingdom. Okay, as I showed you earlier, okay, we were a divided kingdom here, and that's where we currently are right now. And that's why you see that you have animosity, because many of our people don't understand we're brothers. Okay, that's why I brought it out in 1 Kings, okay, chapter 12, okay, and verse 24, where it says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, you shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel." So see, we are brothers, okay, and we're gonna unite, okay. And it says, "Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgression, but I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and I will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God." Because why? Great Babylon, America, is going to be destroyed. This place is going to be destroyed, okay? So we're going to be taken from all over the world, okay, and put into our land, okay? While America is getting that destruction that it rightly deserves. And it says, "And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them," because our body is going to be changed. So here's it right now. Okay, America is going to be destroyed. Okay, we're not going to be looking and being, there's not going to be distinguished between us. Okay, where your dark skin is going to make you inferior. Okay, to those that might be, okay, light skin. Okay, we're not going to have these heathens ruling over us. Okay. America is going to be destroyed. Okay, we're not going to be a divided kingdom. We're going to be a united kingdom. And here's the best part about it. Okay, we're going to, under Yahweh Shai Mashiach, okay, we are going to go and grab Esau and have fun tearing this man apart and in slavery for 1,000 years, okay? Because at the end of the day, we're all lions, man. All right? Okay, so we can have that fun like that. And guess what? This is the future of the man that you see is breaking out these headlines, and the man that you see is creating this division here in Great Babylon, America. So Lord willing, you are edified. I'd like to close up by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors to teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there that are putting up this truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and you brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom.